Hello and welcome everyone to episode 5. 5 already?
5 somehow.
Fuck. Okay, welcome to episode 5 of the Forza World Podcast. My name's Aren.
I am Jason.
And I'm Andrew.
And we are an mess.
We are a mess. But hey, we actually sound pretty good this week. 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Andrew sounds pretty good. Aren sounds considerably better. Aren sounded like he was talking to me through a can of beans last week, man. It's so bad.
It sounded like I was on the other side of a Wendy's drive-through window.
It did. Andrew, vouch. It sounded like he was ordering at a drive. Can I get 12 half-eaten cheeseburgers to go? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, it was like I was the person talking to you. Like I was the.
Oh, you were the person taking my order for 12
your
hamburgers.
order. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'd agree with that too.
And I'm trying to communicate. I'm like
100%. No, but it's better this week. Audio sounds great. I'm happy with everything. 2 out of 3. We're going to have the same sort of audio setup at this weekend's race, which we're going to get into.
We're going to get into right away.
I'm excited, man. This is going to be pretty sick, but we're going to have a good audio setup. We got a camera. This is kind of like the hard launch right now of everything that we've kind of been thinking about the last little bit, stuff we've been talking about with you guys.
This is the kickoff. This is the Super Bowl kickoff.
This is it, right? Like we're ready. We're ready to go. So
Grey Cup, actually.
Yeah, Grey Cup.
Grey Cup's better.
Sort of, in a way. The commercials aren't as good. But anyways... Yeah, we're excited, man. This is going to be a great weekend. I leave very early tomorrow. I'm leaving at about 8:30, 9:30, around there.
Yeah.
You'll be going later in the day. The main event is Friday to Sunday. We're going to be trying to do a show every day, I think. We're going to try to do one. It really depends, right? Like, it sounds like we're going to be in either a Corvette or an RSR, all three of us. Honestly, crazy.
I wouldn't really care. I'd be fine with either one of those. Personally, I'd prefer the RSR because I want my ears to be bleeding.
Yeah, this last year for this exhaust setup, I think, too.
But honestly, if they're like, hey, we can't do the RSR, you're going to be sitting in a C8 Corvette, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I'd give it a laugh. Yeah, I'd be all right with it.
Yeah.
So we got some cool stuff there. We're going to be walking around with a pit crew. We don't know what pit crew, but we'll be spending the day with those guys. They're going to give us a tour of the trailer, part of the facility, their tools. We're going to have some good questions for them. I think all three of us have very interesting perspectives on motorsport too. So I'll be very interested to see how it works behind the scenes and to get some good questions for these guys. I think that'll be sick. And we're going to be waving, each of us at some point, sounds like, waving the green flag at this race on race day, which is certified bananas.
Unreal.
Bananas. And there's some other stuff, too, that we don't even really know about. Like, it's, there's tours and other related things. We're going to be partying. We're going to have our little... what are we calling it? Track Talk. So Track Talk's going to be really exciting. We're going to be interviewing the drunkest of the drunk on the infield and the outfield at the track, asking questions about drinks, life, cars, just
where do you think Ricky Bobby's going to place in this race?
Exactly. Other objectionable things. It'll be good. It'll be pretty fun, and it's going to be a learning experience for us. We're glad you're going to be there. And
we're going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff at the race as well.
So if you're going, we're really trying to convince people to go to this race, right? Like, it's not even a sales pitch. It's just the most fun you can have at motorsport. It's a good time. It's one of the cheapest ways to take in motorsport too. I mean, Jesus Christ, you talk about Formula One, how expensive that weekend can get. Oh my!
We're going to get
second-hand tickets are more expensive. Second-hand tickets. I was getting whole weekend here.
Exactly. I was going to take them to the cleaners, man. So it's an unbelievably cheap weekend. It's something we're going to highlight in some of our videos at just how cheap you can do a full race weekend with like really nice accommodations. Like we're having a trailer delivered. Yeah. And it's cheap, man. It's like $200 a person. Which Canadian, which is like $15 US. Yeah. So crazy, right? So it's going to be a cool weekend. We really want to showcase how awesome this race weekend is. It's an hour from Toronto.
Which is nothing.
It's nothing, man. Like you can, like we're gonna go out to the bars one night. We're gonna get north of Brooklyn, which is a really good pizza place in Toronto. We're gonna be trying that. We're really excited for that.
Thanks for that, Portnoy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're gonna showcase some cool stuff about the race and everything. Just how easy it is. And we're going to be giving stuff away, like Aren says. So if you can go, if you're in the New York area, if you're in northern-ish Michigan, regular Michigan,
or Ontario, Quebec even.
Yeah, Quebec. I mean, Andrew, you're not far
Quebec
from
for
Quebec,
sure.
man.
I'm literally on the Ottawa River, so like it's right
feasible,
there.
Man.
No excuses for anyone in Quebec.
No excuses. No excuses. And like we say, we're giving stuff away. So if you want to get some cool stuff, courtesy of the track, Sam Fellows, shout out Sam Fellows, shout out Ron Fellows, both of them.
Oh, yes.
They've been fantastic to us.
Yep.
Great people. They do a great job running that facility up there. And
it's such a nice facility, too.
It is. Like it's
very
Andrew,
well
it's
maintained.
sneaky good, man.
It's very well maintained.
You know, it would be, I know it used to be there, but it'd be cool if they could make upgrades, like it needs upgrades, but if it could accommodate an F1 race. Like that's a really cool track for F1, considering the elevation changes and the shift in G's and some of those corners. Holy cow.
Well, I remember the last race we were at, there was a crash at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, like turn 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it went down the hill and just didn't even turn, just went straight into the dirt, straight into the tire wall.
Yeah.
And there was no
mosquito bit me.
Oh no.
Yeah,
we're doing this outside, actually.
We are doing this outside.
Imagine that corner, dude, with like formula cars. Like that would be unreal.
Yes, that little hairpin in the back. Yeah. No, I think it'd be pretty cool. But it's a cool track. We're excited to get there. We're excited to share a lot of the stuff that we'll be experiencing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're shooting for a show a day. We just don't know. You'll see by the time this comes out. It'll either be like an IG Live or YouTube or something like that. It just depends on weather. I think it's supposed to rain. Quite a bit here.
Whatever the most feasible way of doing it is, we're going to be doing it. So
right.
Anyways, first of all, I want to talk about the Montreal Grand Prix that you were at. The Montreal Canadian Grand Prix. Actually. That's what it's called.
Here, you listen to my beer.
Oh, that's
Spilled.
a good crack. And I love how you positioned that.
I know, right on the edge. Right on the edge. Not good.
And if that spilled, you now have a wet spot in between your legs.
Yeah, that's what she said. Now listen. The Montreal Grand Prix. Nice little segue there. What a weekend that was, man. Oh my God. First of all, I don't know any French. I don't know a lick of French. I was terrible at it in school. And I had no problems. It's not my first time in Montreal, but I had no problems that whole weekend with like language barrier stuff, anything like that. It was awesome. The food was incredible. People were incredible. There was like 300,000 people a day at the island.
Which is insane.
Like, that's a lot of people, man.
That's 3 times the amount of people that live in the city. City? Is this considered a city?
I don't know whether it is more than that, but it's a lot of people, and for it to accommodate that many people was crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen lines like that. I was actually kind of somewhat impressed by the price of concessions. It was cheaper than an NHL game, so I was okay with that. Like, it was like $9 for a can of beer, but it was a Heineken. It's not like you're paying $9 for Bud Light. Like, that's okay. Like, it's not.
It's like $18 for like a cup of beer at the Bell Center. It's like
I know.
That's like
and then you get
half
Paps,
a pint of Molson.
Yeah, exactly. Like, good luck. Yeah. So, I mean, I was okay with that, but ticket prices, man. Well, actually, hang on. Let's get into the good stuff first. So the race was obviously awesome.
And FP3, you did the track walk too.
I did do the track walk after, like minutes after the Grand Prix. We actually were able to do that. That was really sick. But we had a great time. It rains on the way home after FP2. All during FP3 and quali, it rained. As Andrew knows, FP3 was bananas.
Oh yeah,
especially for Aston, right? Like, I mean, Vettel being up there, Gasly being up there.
Dude, Jesus was so stoked going into quali. I thought they were gonna have like both in Q3, like, honestly, and obviously that didn't end up working out. But
yeah, I know. I thought it would, right? Like, I thought they would keep that going. I don't know. They just look strong, man. Like,
I don't know how
they just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, even Seb was like, I don't know where the pace went. Like, it just like evaporated.
Yeah, I know. You could hear him on the radio. He was like, "What is going on, man?" So it was weird. Didn't really understand that. Nando did okay in the race too, considering his quali position. Quali went great. The fact it was, it rained pretty heavy and it let up, I think made for some interesting dynamics, like the dry line and everything like that. Like, as it was progressing. I don't know. It was nice. The rain stopped at a nice time, or let up at a nice time.
And the groundhog running across the track.
Latifi, man. God, the guy can't not hit stuff. He demolished the groundhog.
I saw the video where he went over it. It was just all over the camera.
You could hear him on his team radio, though. He hit it, and he's like, oh. so poor Latifi, man. I mean, we were there celebrating him. We had all of our Canada stuff on. And we were just, every time this guy went by, we were just like, go Tiffy, go, the goat spotting. And I don't know. It was funny. We got a couple high fives out of it.
Verstappen win. So
Verstappen win. Andrew, very happy. Noted Red Bull connoisseur.
Yeah.
I'm a Checo guy, I'll be honest. As a Aston former Racing Point guy, which is odd. Big Checo guy, but Max, he looks like a Lego Duplo character. I can't do it.
Dude, so disappointing for Checo too, man. Like the I don't know, engine failure or whatever. Like,
yeah, that was weird, eh?
Yeah, especially
really
he
that.
finally gets like he's P2 in the drivers championship. He's like right there.
I know.
It would literally just take a max DNF and he'd be ahead in the championship, I think, at that point.
That's true. Yeah, if you had either a 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, overall, it was a good weekend. I'm definitely going to be going next year. I'm going to try to go every single year. It was awesome. Ticket prices were crazy just because, for those of you that don't know, Canada was one of the only GPs that was canceled 2 years in a row because of COVID.
Because of COVID, yeah.
So a lot of the tickets rolled over from the 3 years ago. And obviously, I mean, what's your ticket selection at that point, right? They built some new grandstands and everything to try to sell more tickets just to make it accessible, but the prices were so crazy for single days. Yeah, I mean, you had grandstand tickets for FP1 and FP2 going for about $500, $600, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is insane.
And then quality, crazy, dude. Face value on those, $80. $80.
So what tickets did you have?
Oh, I got some stories, folks. I got some stories. We'll move on. I won't spend too much time on F1 because I know not everybody here gives a fuck about F1, but I do. So what we're going to talk about, ticket prices, yes, insane. Quali and FP3, those tickets, I mean, for half decent grandstands just to get in a pair, you're looking at $1,000 each.
$1,000 each?
On race day, yeah.
Each?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then on race day, the cheapest I could find that like wasn't in the family section and wasn't in, ironically, the worst grandstand was the Latifi grandstand. So bad.
Oh, no.
It was the worst one. That grandstand for tickets on race day, actually on race weekend, take a guess. I'm really curious to see what you guys think each. If you were to find a pair, what is the cost of one of those two tickets? What do you think? Grandstand
for race
middle.
day?
Yeah, just like middle. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Just like a random, like not on an aisle or anything.
Okay, well, considering the prices that you've dropped in what you just said,
Canadian.
I'm going to say $1,500.
Okay, $1,500. Andrew.
I'm gonna go in between. I'm gonna say like $1,300.
$3,000.
Oh my God, man!
Yeah,
No.
pretty wild, pretty wild. So, way too much money. Way too much money. If you know
Dude, IMSA's
what other
a
GPs
bargain.
go for,
IMSA's a
IMSA, by the way,
bargain.
for the reference here, if we were paying top to bottom, you know, accommodations, food, generator, gas, the ticket itself, the camping pass. So we stay for 4 nights, 5 days. It is just about $300,
Which is insane. Insane.
and we camp on the infield.
Insane.
So, yeah, that's like, it's not okay. It's
Like,
not
this
okay.
isn't-
But
this is
I
not a
don't think it'll
grandstand.
happen.
You're not
No.
staying at a hotel. You're staying at the track.
At
You're
the
waking.
track, man.
Well,
could you imagine how much people would pay for an F1 like camping pass on the infield?
Oh,
If people selling kidneys.
$15,000.
And you got like multiple classes racing throughout the weekend, like everything.
Yeah,
It's not
it was.
just, like,
It's definitely better racing to begin with. Like, it's
Yeah.
more easy to get into the characters and the drama of F1. But you want to talk about pure racing? IMSA's like everybody knows that. IMSA,
all the spec
specifically the
classes.
GT. Yeah, like the GT Pro or whatever they're calling it now. That's usually always the best. But
And you're
anyways,
waking up to cars. Well, not Jason.
yeah, you
Jason's
get-
not
yeah,
waking
I
up
don't
to cars.
Jason, but
I get too whammed, and then the cars don't wake me up.
7 o'clock in the morning. And
I have a
there's
video of that.
every
We will
single
post it.
class flying by.
Yep.
25 feet away from the tent and Jason's just out.
The thing to remember, though, about F1 is I don't think those prices will ever be that high again for the Canadian GP. That was purely because it was just that many years of rollover on the tickets. So,
but I mean that happened with
it's still
with
crazy.
IMSA as well.
They did have that option.
But yeah, so the thing is with IMSA, like camping, I mean, that's such a huge facility. You can just keep rolling it over. There's very limited grandstand tickets for F1.
F1, yeah.
And I believe grandstand for the most part is first come, first serve for IMSA. With the exception of the start finish line grandstand.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really hard when it comes to specific seats and everything like that. Once they're gone, they're gone. Like it's very, like there's a capacity, whereas the infield's huge. They usually get like 100,000 people, I think, at that race, right? Like it's big on race day. Anyways, won't get too much more into F1. We're excited about the race weekend we just had. We're excited about this weekend. But I think we've got some Forza news to talk about here. And
no, not quite.
No?
Not quite.
What am I missing?
We're going to go back to something that we talked about last week. Andrew, your car.
Oh, okay. So hang on. I'm going to interrupt. So we were trying to take our cars down this weekend. That was kind of the big thing.
That was the big thing.
I was taking my car. It was going to be all like, here's my pompous car. Everybody look at my car. And then Andrew was going to come along and then just completely blow the doors off my car. And everybody was going to go, and not realize
it's a Civic.
What this thing is, right? But the universe just can't do anything nice for us, as we're realizing. This whole week has been a complete shit show.
As car ownership goes, it just...
It never works out when you want it to work out.
Yeah.
No.
The one time that you plan for it to be absolutely perfect, the universe is like, fuck you.
Exactly.
I'm still gonna be driving it down. It's just gonna be on a low boost, and it's gonna be basically a chimney, just smoking like the whole way. So, but I will. I'm bringing it down.
People are gonna be looking at that thing, and they're like, "Did you diesel swap a Civic?"
Yeah, exactly.
Come in, swap.
Yeah, it sounds like it too, with a friggin' piston slap on the forged piston.
No, it's real, man. Mine does the same sort of thing. It makes that same sort of sound. The forged pistons, that's a real thing.
Yeah, yours is more on startup, Jay.
No, it is, but I legitimately do under load, low speed. I do get like a piston slap because of the forged pistons. It is a thing with the performance pack Mercs. It's very odd.
I mean,
the Corvettes do it too. Actually, a lot of
my car sounds like my car sounds like a diesel when it's idling, but as soon as I get on,
your car looks like a litter box. Also,
okay, it doesn't anymore.
We clean this kid's car for 2 hours, 2 hours, and then he parks it back at home, and basically the squirrels just have their way with it. And then his tree just nuts all over this car with sap.
Man, okay. So where I live, the driveway is kind of like this alleyway, and it's
between two houses. There's a tree over top of it, and there's squirrels everywhere.
And there's squirrels in the tree. So if I'm able to park further in the driveway, then I'm fine, and I'm not parked underneath the tree. But if the other person that lives there is home, I can't park far enough forward so that my car isn't under the tree.
Because she parks like a muppet.
Yeah, because she's an idiot,
to put it lightly.
And so I have to park underneath this tree, and I have squirrels that completely tear apart the nuts that are on this tree, and they drop shells, and they drop nuts, and they drop dust, and they drop leaves and branches and everything and sap, and it falls on my car, and it solidifies, and it ruins it.
And it becomes a litter box, basically.
It becomes a litter box
car. Yeah.
It becomes a community garden for squirrels.
It is. So we Iron X'd the shit out of this thing, and it looked, I'll say, pretty good. The word I described to Aren when we were cleaning the car before was offensively bad.
Yeah.
Like it was just so brutal. But it looked good, and now it doesn't. So, whatever. We'll just have to, we'll keep up on it.
It does look considerably better.
And you know what? I've got enough cleaning stuff here where on a regular basis we can keep it clean
we need to.
You know what I mean? I got enough stuff. So we'll be all right. But the one thing that pressure washing and Iron X and all those things can't fix is Andrew's valve seals. And it also can't fix my tires.
No.
Which are just so dead. I had no idea. I had no idea. And we got it on the hoist. I was getting it ready and everything. We did full service on it. We were doing oil. I did air filters. Also, shout out my air filters. Just so many squirrel items and stuff inside of the nuts and bugs. Brutal, man.
Everything.
So got those replaced. Oil
The inside
filter.
of your airbox was the outside of my car.
It was. My airbox was full of crap. It was crazy. So we got that all cleaned up. Routine Mercedes B maintenance, which is the bigger of the two. And we realized my tires are toast, all four. And the back ones, not shocked, we'll say, right? Very even wear. They're at the markers. It's time for new ones. Fine, whatever. I can stretch that. But the fronts, man, whoever, I put this on Instagram, so some of you might have saw that. Whoever put that car through its last alignment, Jesus, you should not be. I don't think it was a Mercedes tech, to be honest with you. It might have been before I had the car. It was so bad, and the wear is so uneven on it that on the inside of the tread, it's toast. Like it would not. It's about 800 kilometers there and back to the race, not including me being on the track with it. And yeah, it wouldn't have lasted that, not at all. So, in the bumpkin town that we live in, there's nobody with either the skills or a good enough tire machine that could get that low of a profile tire off, or at least that I would trust. So, I mean, you're having to drive an hour away, 100 kilometers to go do it in the first place. And those guys are booking 3 weeks out. Porsche's 2 weeks, Mercedes 3 weeks. So ask me if that helps. Does it? No, absolutely not. So fucking, kill me. Because it just got ceramic coated. It looks so pretty. Pretty car.
Dude.
Although the guy didn't do a great job. But it's still 99% good.
I was looking forward, man, to having them both parked up. Like yours, like just looking mint, and mine just being an absolute shitbox, like right beside it.
Well, it's just. But the thing is, yours would blow the doors off of mine. Like I was actually looking forward to that because I know it would.
Well, I would get ahead of you, and then you wouldn't be able to see because I'd be just a plume of smoke behind me.
Oh yeah, I'd be in the and then I lose traction, and then I'm in the ditch because I can't see anything and I have no grip. But yeah,
I would come rescue you, but I would run out of gas.
Exactly. Yeah, Aren has no fuel in his car, and it would. I mean, the front window would be so caked with crap, anyways.
It would.
So much sap. But anyways, yeah. So that's a long-winded way of saying Andrew's bringing his limp mode car. Aren will be bringing his disgusting vehicle, I think. Actually, no, he won't. No disgusting vehicle. He'll be staying home and getting even grosser. Then
that makes me so sad.
Well, whatever. Gross car. And then my car, unfortunately, will not be coming. But that's okay. It'll be there next year. We're gonna do this even bigger next year, I think, too. This is kind of feeling it out.
And this is just kind of getting back into the swing of things too.
It is, man. This is the first Grand Prix we've done.
3 years.
Yeah.
Well, technically
2 years.
2
in this
years.
Stupid country.
Of nonsense, but 3 years since we've done it. Because last
It was
time
so
was
funny.
2019.
Yeah, you go to Windsor. They got the Detroit GP going on in Windsor. You can look across the lake and they're racing, and then over here we have to do a full quiz just to go to Boston Pizza, which is Canadian Applebee's. Oh my god! So it's all. Well, you know what? We're all good now. We're having a good time, and yeah. I mean, let's get into Forza stuff here, though, Aren, because I was just thinking, with all the Grand Prix stuff going on, I really haven't had much time to play. I just haven't. So I don't know what's going on.
So with Forza stuff, they just released Update 9, and with Update 9, there was a whole bunch of patch notes that they ended up releasing. And one of the things that I've noticed is it got to the point where some of the stuff was broken, and they say that they fix things, but they don't actually fix things, and sometimes they make it worse. One of the things that I noticed was the turning radius. So they increased the sharpness of the turning on controller and on PC. So if you turn 100%, it turns quicker and it turns sharper. So if you have any sort of car with lifted suspension, i.e. any off-road vehicle, you end up rolling like a barrel of monkeys.
So this is a bad thing?
Yes. Yeah. So so if you have a performance vehicle and you turn, it turns sharper and it turns quicker, so you have more understeer. If you have an off-road vehicle, it turns sharper and it turns quicker, so you just start rolling over.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Like a stunt plane.
I'm really sick of news and updates coming through, and then we complain about them.
They did
really
fix
sick
a
of
lot. They did fix a lot of issues. And there's an entire thing of patch notes where they did fix a lot. Like there was issues with they fixed exploits with the festival playlist, with photo mode and all that stuff. Online issues they ended up fixing. They added the duplicate car filter. So if you go through your entire garage,
so you can see duplicates.
You can see what cars you have duplicates of.
Yeah, that seems like it should have been around 10 years ago, but we'll take it now. That's definitely a good idea.
To the same point, and this was in a YouTube video that I ended up watching. You wouldn't need that duplicate filter if you maintained the feel of Horizon that you did from Horizon 1 and Horizon 2. Because Horizon 1 and Horizon 2, you had so few duplicates because you started out with crap cars and you had to work your way up. It wasn't to the point where you'd be like, oh, I got a wheel spin and I got 3 of the exact same car. Look at that. And all 3 of them are Formula Drift cars.
Yeah. Well, you know what's dumb, though, about that turn-in thing is I get the feeling, and I mean, obviously it's true, that it's not car accurate. Like they just went, this is the type of car, so this is the turn-in response that you're getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of like this blanket across cars with that characteristic.
Yeah.
So I kind of hate that.
And that was,
but you know what?
Some of the videos were of the GMC Jimmy or the Jeep C5 Renegade, and they're driving in a straight line, and there's a slight bend to the corner, and they turn, and they just turn like instantly, like you're driving a McLaren Senna, and then it gets to the point where you're spinning around like a top.
Yeah, it's so
like
dumb.
Someone just pulled a ripcord on a Beyblade, and you're like, haha, now I'm spinning around. This is great.
Andrew, you loved Beyblades as a kid.
Oh, buddy, I was.
You're a big Beyblade guy.
I don't get how you don't like test that out. Like you have the time, you're releasing an update, test out like even just you got to know that even just with the stock like vehicles they give you with the lifted vehicles.
Yeah, and one of the things that pisses me off is I think they do test it, but they think, hey, you know what? Let's get the most high tech, best possible equipment ever that we can possibly get our hands on, and then we'll test it with that. We'll get a full rig, we'll get the motion rig and everything, and we'll get the wheel and pedals and the force feedback and all this stuff, and we're going to test it on that.
Oh, I see. And then they're not testing for the people who play with the controller, which is 90% of people.
90% of the people.
Right. And they're like, I didn't roll it on the simulation machine. That cost me $6,600.
And that's the thing. And they're like, some people have the original Xbox One, and they're going to be playing on the original Xbox One with an Xbox controller on a 720p TV because not everybody has $17,000 to spend on a rig. They don't test it with that, and then they're like, oh wow, this game is horrible because nothing works, everything's super slow, but it's optimized for the people who have millions and millions of dollars to spend.
It's one of those things too where it's such a specific nitpick that we can identify that, but I don't think everybody would.
No.
Hear me out. I think people would get frustrated and not understand why. I think they'd be like, this sucks or this car sucks, but they wouldn't be able to understand that it's like the way it's responding to the car turning in.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I guarantee you hook up a force feedback wheel.
Oh, yeah, and it'd be
force
fine.
feedback wheel.
Oh, yeah.
We hook that up,
Aren
and it's going to be completely different.
Yeah. I agree. Like I say, it sucks that every time there's something like this, it probably should be a positive thing, and then we got to sit here and we're like, oh my God, this is a negative. But I think in their defense, it is still Horizon. It is still arcade. It is still, you know what I mean? Let's not go too hard here.
And you know what?
It seems like such a weird mistake to make.
Some of the Hot Wheels cars
that's true, yeah.
you can get right now because
shout out Hot Wheels pack, by the way.
Yes.
After a couple weeks in here. Lovely pack.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the Hot Wheels cars you can get right now through wheel spins. So if you're one of those people who sits there and plays games for 90% of your life because you sit at home and you don't have a job and you live in your parents' basement, then what you can do is you can just wheel spin as much as you want and get these cars, or you can buy a whole bunch of wheel spins and get these cars. There's no effort. And that was one of the
same
things
old complaint.
But that's the thing. That was one of the things that we were talking about earlier. Is there's no effort into getting these cars anymore. They bring out all these epic exclusive cars, and there's no effort.
Yeah.
Man, I just feel like that makes it so much like you get so bored of it so much faster that way too. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. You've noticed that too, eh? Where
yeah.
it's like, ugh. Yeah, I know. It's sad, man. It's sad. We've touched on it. It's a good game. It's a technological masterpiece, but I don't know. I don't care. Like, I mean, I'm on a Forza podcast right now. I don't even know what the update is. I don't know.
It doesn't have the same replayability as the older games. It doesn't.
I dropped the There's no playability.
Well, there's no playability,
right?
Yeah,
like it's
that's a good point.
I mean, the first playthrough. Do you even really want to do it? Like, not really.
You felt obligated to do it.
I mean, yeah, like you want to, but it's just why? Why am I playing this game?
I think no. To touch on what you said, it's something that you want to do to experience it for the first time, but it's also that you feel obligated to do it because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, but the incentive is what's missing, so then you have no drive to do it. So then you're caught in this weird
middle ground.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I don't know. And then what's the action you take?
Yeah.
I'm just not playing the game.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, right? Like
and then once you finish doing that the first time, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then there's nothing.
I don't know. Well, hopefully they straighten it out. I'm glad they got those other bugs fixed. I'm glad the online is rocking and rolling a little bit better. I mean, better late than never, if it is better. Photo mode, continuous improvements there. That's good. Good stuff. It was broken there for a bit, so happy that's good.
Oh my goodness.
It was definitely broken.
When you go to, I don't know if this is one of the things that they fixed, but if you're online, like if you're just connected and not in solo mode, and you click the button to go into photo mode, it takes like half a second, 3/4 of a second to actually stop the game. So if you're traveling at 200 miles an hour and you click the photo mode button, you're still traveling
at 4 too, didn't it?
No,
it wasn't quick.
It wasn't quick, but it's worse in 5.
I wonder if that's our Xbox.
One of the things that fixed.
I wonder if that's the same experience that you would have if you had like a top end Xbox.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe, right?
I don't know. That's a good thing.
I'd have to try it on cloud gaming. Shout out cloud gaming, actually, if you can give that a chance. It's actually for photo mode stuff and nothing too intense. It's kind of a cool solution.
Do you know
play
why?
Right on your phone.
Do you know why cloud gaming's a thing? When they released the Series X and the Series S, the Series X had the bigger hard drive, but it had a disk drive. The Series S doesn't have a disk drive, but it has a smaller hard drive. So all of the
install everything, and then you have no fucking room for
exactly.
it. Exactly.
So all of the optimized games you couldn't install because they took up so much space, and there was no space on this Xbox.
Right.
So they released cloud gaming so that you can play it without having it installed on your Xbox.
I think
that's
the
future sole reason.
Too. I think that's the future. I hope that becomes more of a common thing. You know, just like cloud gaming in general. I would love to just be able to rip games straight on my phone or on my iPad or whatever. Right? It makes it so much easier. But that is. I don't want to talk about Forza anymore. It's.
We have other things to complain about, don't we, Jason?
We have lots of things to talk about. Yeah.
And complain about specifically because as we move into our famous segment, cue the music, Complaint Corner. And you know what? I think this week it's not specifically Jason's Complaint Corner. I think this is just a general complaint corner.
This is still my idea.
It's still your idea.
This is my Complaint Corner.
Yes,
You're guest hosting my Complaint Corner this week. Andrew is too. I hate roadworks, construction on
everybody
roads. Everybody does. But I got a specific beef here, and what this beef is, ladies and gentlemen, is when nobody's working and it's a weekday and it's like the middle of the day and perfect weather.
On one of the busiest roads.
That literally happened today to me.
Dude, what is going on with that? Dude, let's shut down a road. Dude, let's shut... It's bananas. So why shut down an entire road? And it always seems to be major roads, too. There ain't no back roads getting fixed out here for some reason. the terrible, decrepit roads that need to get fixed. No, let's fix...
Plank road's getting fixed.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Not yet.
It's 3 kilometers. They're fixing 500 meters of it. Oh. It's at 500 meters. That's not even bad. It was the road around here. It was named the worst. It was the 10th worst road in Ontario. And they're fixing one specific section that's not even bad on it. Like, it's like, dude, Andrew, you couldn't drive your car on it.
No.
Like, literally, we're not even talking bottom out. We're talking you can't drive on it. And it's a main road in Sarnia.
Oh. You wouldn't drive your car on it.
So, no, I wouldn't, no. But, dude,
I did once.
I gotta get back to the complaints here. I hate when it's the middle of the day and nobody's working and the weather's perfect and they got like a main road shut down. What in the world is the purpose of that? Because you've got all the equipment out there. You've got all the tools. You've got the stupid orange cones that I would love to steal at some point. They're just on the side of the road.
And there's people.
How about we get... No, sometimes there is people and they're just standing around. There's like 2 guys and they're presumably both whammed. And nobody's doing anything. Like, can we just get it together a little bit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get it done in a week. But instead, we just leave it for about a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. And we do work for like 4 days and just inconvenience everything. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. There was literally a Top Gear episode about this. Do it in a day. Everybody pulls an all-nighter. Get everybody some beer. Get everybody some fish and chips. Get her done.
Yeah.
And everybody would be pumped. And you
yeah.
make so much more money.
Oh, yeah.
How much money does it cost the government when they have all this crap out there for 2 months?
It's
Exactly. And if you're paying people like $20 an hour to do this for 3.5 months straight,
Exactly,
pay them
yeah.
$200 an hour
Bro.
and get them to do it in a night.
I know. And then you think about all the local businesses and everything that it affects.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
well, if they stop making less money, then that's less tax dollars that goes to the government. So who the hell cares that you got a cheaper contract through somebody where it's like Sal and his brother Mo, who like kind of have some machinery and everything like that, and they show up once a month with all their drunk buddies that they pay cash only. Everybody's got a DUI. Everybody's got a DUI.
Oh yeah, we got a backhoe we got a
Exactly.
backhoe
Showing
somewhere
up
on
on
the
But-
property. We got some shovels.
But it was $59 cheaper
Yeah.
for the government to
Yeah.
do it that way. So, oh man, that is my specific complaint here is when nobody is doing a goddamn thing
Yeah.
and the thing is shut, like the whole road shut down and it's a main road.
Yeah.
Oh my! Every city, people can relate to that. Every city.
Dude, there's literally this just got fixed, dude. But there's a road in my town. It's like maybe 800 meters long, but it's like a way that a lot of people use to get into town, and they did the like where they scrape they scrape like the top layer off, and it's like that weird like asphalt, but not really.
It's kind of that. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So they scraped that off, and then there's like a big parking lot that's like halfway through it, off to the side of it. And then,
I thought you meant in the middle of it.
no.
you have to drive
like an
through the
obstacle
parking
in
lot.
Mario
Yeah,
Kart.
yeah, fucking, but it's like off to the side.
Yeah.
They started so they scraped like it was a gravel parking lot, and then they started prepping it to like pave it, and they stopped working on the road, man. So they were just working on this parking lot that no one uses ever. Like a fry truck parks in there like twice a fucking month. And they were literally working on this parking lot and paving this parking lot and leaving this road like all like the manholes and shit are like sticking up like an inch or two because it's like they peeled the whole layer off and it's just a disaster. They left it like that for a month, dude. And I was like blood boiling mad every time I had to drive down this road, and they're just like off to the side paving this parking lot that no one uses.
Did they at least put orange spray paint around the manhole covers so that you know where they were?
Oh no, and it, like the road,
of course. Why would they?
didn't.
Why would they?
That's too much
dude,
work.
the road started deteriorating, and like in this one area by one of the drains,
Oh my god!
and there was like probably like a 4 to 6 inch deep like pothole, and I smoked it in my truck.
Oh, Jesus
okay.
Christ!
And I
At
thought
least it was in your
thought
truck, not your Civic.
yeah. Oh, dude, no, I wouldn't even go down that in my Civic, dude, because I would die. It would, my spine would go through my neck.
You would become Lewis Hamilton.
Oh yeah, exactly. Dude. And dude, I thought I bent my my wheel on my truck because I hit it that hard, and it just made me so furious. It's fixed now, but it took literally, like you're saying, it took like 2 months to pave like 600 to 800 meters of road, basically.
So if I don't know if this happens with everybody, but if you hit if you damage your vehicle, like a bent rim or a pop tire or something like that on a city road, if you go to the city, they fix it? ?
If it's like they'd really make it hard. Like if they marked it, like because it's like marked construction or whatever, or you know how they have like that sign where
That's
it's
so
like
dumb.
a pothole or like a bump or whatever that like covers their ass. So like if they don't have that, then they can. But like I actually cracked a wheel on my truck like
Oh yeah, that's right.
like
you did.
4 or 5 months
right.
ago maybe. I smoked a pothole like on the other side of town on another horrible road that they just fixed again. That was also under construction for like 3 months. And I couldn't do anything about it because they marked it like 3-4 times. But when there's oncoming traffic, you can't even avoid it. And I smoked it, dude. And I cracked a aluminum wheel on a truck. I hit it so hard.
That's a big smack.
Yeah.
So this was on the way to Jason's. The 402, which is a major highway. It connects.
Well, basically, it connects Sarnia
US.
to London, and then 401 goes London to Jesus Christ, like Ottawa, basically.
401.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's a big boy.
Yeah. Well, it goes all the way from Windsor.
Windsor. Actually, true.
yeah.
Yeah, it does. I forgot Windsor exists. It's
Well,
No,
I'm not surprised.
lovely. Very good pizza, but the people are. Anyways,
But the 402 is the way to get into the States. That's the way to get
Through
across
Detroit.
the border.
that's right.
So it's a major highway. There's a lot of trucks that come through that border, over the bridge, and on the 402. And Sarnia is that border town. So it gets to the point where, I don't know, you might need to drive on the highway to get from one side of the city to the other because it's a major highway that goes through the city. They have the, hold on, 1, 2, 3. They have four of the on-ramps onto the highway closed for construction.
Lovely.
Closed. 4 of them at the same time in completely different places throughout the city. So there is no way that they are working on all 4 on-ramps at the exact same time.
There's no way.
There's
There's no way.
There is no way that they're doing that at the exact same time. On top of which, there was a water main break on one road, which is right beside the only Walmart in town, right beside the only Dairy Queen in town, and it's to the point where everyone goes there and they have to close up this road. So it's a road that's beside a mall, beside a Walmart,
Oh, so
and
you have
beside a
every
Dairy Queen.
loser in
So
the city.
Every single
Oh,
loser in the
no.
city is trying to take the stupid detour to get around to the Walmart because you have Karens that are like, I need to go to the Walmart to get my rollbacks. and then you have people, pulling into the Dairy Queen because they're like, this is the only Dairy Queen. I need to get my Blizzards. And then you have the people that, the 97-year-old mall walkers that come
Yeah.
through the mall every single morning, which I have to deal with, which stinks because
Yeah.
we have people that come in and they're like, I need this done. And you're like, that's great. You need to go to a
was
different store because I don't want to deal with you right now. It stinks. It's horrible. And I can barely get into the mall parking lot.
Jesus, that should have been complaint corner.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But you said roadworks, and I was like, all right, you know what, Jason, I'm going to let you have your moment because this is your complaint corner. I'm the co-conspirator of this, but it's stupid. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate it. Okay. Anyway, moving on because I could go off.
Oh,
for
I
way
have
too
news.
long.
I have news.
You have news.
I have news. I have
Okay.
news. So I am the resident endurance racing mans,
Yes.
and we have been keeping pretty close track of what's going on in FIA WEC
Yes.
because for those of you that don't know, the rules and regulations are changing, so they're going to be in sync with IMSA, the race weekend we're going to right now.
How long has it
rules-
been when they have not been synchronized?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't
have
know
they
if they've
ever
ever
been
really
synchronized?
been. I don't think they've ever really been like 100% in sync where you can have cars just come and go. I don't think it's ever been. Like, I think it's been close.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's ever been like that. But anyways, the point is, what this is doing is it's really encouraging a lot of race teams. Like, what's stopping them? Now you got 4 cars, right? And you got 2 in North America, you got 2 in Europe, and that's what people are doing, man. People are going in both. Well, I mean, we got the new Porsche. That's number 1.
The 963.
That's big news. We haven't talked about that.
Oh.
Really good-looking car, man.
So sexy.
It's a really bizarre-looking car in some ways.
But it's so understated.
It is. Like it's
with
not
with
wild.
the Cadillac. The Cadillac is wild.
Cadillac is wild.
Like
Yeah,
it is a wild looking car.
The livery's nice. The livery's a little classic. It's a throwback. I mean, but the lights aren't like crazy or anything like that. It's not like Peugeot.
Yeah,
Their lights.
or Cadillac or BMW. Because even BMW had some very interesting lights.
Did.
They were
did.
it was
That's
very
right.
good. It was a very clean,
Isn't it
crisp
crazy
design.
all these names, and then you got Ferrari in it too?
Oh,
You know what I mean? And the other crazy thing is Jota. A lot of you guys might remember them. They used to have some great race programs back, I want to say late 2000s. They had some great stuff. Jota.
Yeah, and they had, if you I can't remember the name of the car, but there was a Jota in Forza Motorsport 4.
There was. So they are partnering with Porsche. So they're going.
Porsche?
Yes, that is right. So they're going to be having a 963 that they buy from factory. And then they're entering that, which is crazy, competing against Porsche. So that's the other thing people are forgetting too, is all these race teams, they're coming up with their cars. Peugeot, Cadillac. Cadillac definitely comes to mind here. They're also going to have customer cars in the top class. Brilliant. So it's going to be killer. You know, I got to say, shout out Andrew here. R.I.P. Toyota. That's all I have to say. Toyota Gazoo has dominated because they're literally the only people in their class for like, I don't know, a couple years now. Whenever Porsche left.
2018.
Yeah.
So 2018 was the first year that
Yeah,
Porsche
they
was
win every
27.
year. They're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Toyota won, Toyota won. You're going against literally Glickenhaus. That's it.
The
Who was
only
like
other
a
one.
guy in a shed,
Yeah.
basically. And he's like really close to beating them. And now you have all these teams. They're just going to get annihilated.
You
They're
have
gonna get
this
beaten up, man.
multi-million-dollar vehicle company that has been producing race cars for decades, almost getting beat by a guy that lives in a shed.
Glickenhaus, I'm pretty sure, is a billionaire, but we will say he lives in a shed comparatively.
Okay, comparatively.
But I understand
that's
what you
the
mean.
thing.
He is an guy.
Yes.
He's an guy who just exists.
An
He's
guy.
like, I wanted to do a race team, and he's close. So
He
they're
is.
not gonna last, dude. Like they've got all these crazy manufacturers coming in. The big two, though, for sure, Porsche, and then the new Porsche Customer. Those are the big ones, I gotta say.
See, and I'm very curious because whenever Porsche usually entered any sort of FIA WEC or
They
IMSA,
crush.
they dominate.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely dominate.
do.
But I'm curious because Peugeot's going to be in there, Cadillac's going to be in there, Ferrari's going to be in there, Audi is going to be in there. Now, the reason why I'm curious is because Porsche and Audi are related. They're in the same family.
They are.
Mhm.
They share a
And
lot of their motorsport components.
They
as well.
share a lot of their motorsport components, and even the road cars, the RS e-tron GT and the Porsche Taycan Turbo S. Those aren't the same car. The RS e-tron GT and the Taycan Turbo are basically the exact same car, but there's the Turbo S on top of it. It's the same thing with the Audi RS Q8 and the Porsche Taycan or the Porsche Cayenne Turbo Coupe. But then there's the Turbo GT on top of that. So I'm curious if it's going to be the same with the motorsport stuff, if Audi's stuff is going to be slightly detuned just to not beat Porsche. Just to barely not beat Porsche.
Maybe, man. I don't know.
Audi's one of those teams though too, man. Like you look at like Le Mans and stuff where they just
Yeah.
dominated, man. Like they
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
have
But it was the
unreal,
same
like,
team as
motorsport.
Porsche.
Yeah.
Like any time that Porsche wasn't in there as a factory team, Audi was, and Audi dominated.
And Audi crushed.
Any
That's a good
time
point.
that Audi wasn't in there as a factory team and Porsche was, Porsche dominated. Now both of them are going to be in there as factory
Yeah.
teams.
That's gonna be super interesting to watch actually.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it'll be good, man. Also, shout out. So, Le Mans, I don't think we covered that. That was June 12th. So, Toyota Gazoo obviously took first overall. Big deal. Like, I
Surprise,
care.
surprise.
Sweet, cool. More interesting, LMGTE Pro, which I believe all that nomenclature stuff is going to be changing, but that was the number 91 Porsche GT team, which I believe is still factory backed. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. I think that's one of the only ones
Bruni
that is
or
still...
Brune, Leitz, and Makowecki. Can't pronounce the names, but I do know those guys. That was a good team. So good for those guys. LMP2, Jota.
Yep.
So, I mean, geez, it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the top class. If that's where they go, I'm pretty sure they go into a top class. I don't think it'll be like an LMP2 or like an LMDH AM, but whatever. LMGT EAM, good for Ben Keating. Ben Keating is the coolest. Former Viper guy. Awesome guy. Good for him.
That's
Marco Sorensen.
That's one of the only reasons why you like him that much. Is because he's a former Viper guy.
Viper was my team. yeah. But he's just a cool guy too. He's like a businessman. Like he's just like, this is his thing.
The 93 Viper.
Oh, don't even get me started. We'll be here too long. But Enrique Chavez, he was on there too. Great drive by him from what I heard. They were driving a TF Sport Aston Martin. And it was a pretty car. Red with a little bit of baby blue. Yes, very
that's so pretty.
Nice.
Okay,
so they did good. They did good. There was a lot of races. Shout out our boy, David Palmer's one of his favorite drivers. I forget the guy's name now. He races with our buddy.
Hardwick.
Ryan Hardwick. He races with Ryan Hardwick, and then there's also
Robichon.
Robichon.
That's
Robichon.
it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I heard their race didn't go as expected, so tough for those guys. I know in practice, I think they were having some issues as well.
Yeah.
So tough to see. But no, it was a decent race this year. I was able to catch a couple hours in the early morning of it. It's a tough one to watch overall, but no. Good stuff happening in FIA WEC. I do love to see it. There's some very lovely cars on the way. That is for sure.
Yes. So just recently, and we're kind of moving on a little bit. The Goodwood Festival of Speed happened.
Yeah,
lots of cool things coming out of that.
There was some very, very interesting things that were announced at Festival of Speed that were there at the Festival of Speed. The BMW M3 Touring.
Oh, Andrew, what did you think of that? I'm really curious. You were texting me about it, actually, the M3 Touring.
Yeah, it kind of looks like an Aston Martin.
Really? Actually, I can see
the front grille kind of. But I have like a really big soft spot for wagons, and I think it's fucking sick.
Wagons, man.
Yes, wagons are so underrated, man.
Yeah, they're just
so
like
nice.
Especially like you get like the what is the Audi RS8?
Yep. Or RS6.
R6, sorry.
R6.
RS8's the R6. Especially the new one is gorgeous.
Yes, I like. Looks good in like every color too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was that McMurdy Spearling. However you pronounce it, that electric fan car.
Andrew, did you see that? It was the fastest lap.
Yeah,
fastest hill climb run.
It didn't even look real.
No, I know. And it's
Max
so
Chilton,
quiet
man.
too. Like all you hear is like tire, and then you just see like the friggin' like the dust just flying up behind it.
Yeah.
Flying out of the back of it, and the whine from the electric motors.
Yeah,
I know.
39.08 seconds up the hill, which is just insane. It beat the Volkswagen IDR, which is already a blistering fast car.
Yeah, because that was just make it to see how fast we can get it to go. That's all that car
That's all that car was.
Never made
how fast can we make an electric car, period.
And it got blitzed.
And it got blitzed by some dude in a shed.
Like it looks like this sack of shit car by comparison now. It's crazy, man.
And the look of this car.
It looks
really cool.
It's
really cool.
Different. Like it's not a car I would usually find myself being like, okay, that's a sexy looking car. You know what I mean? It's just like that's awesome. Like it's just weird. It was cool because it was so different. It's got that fan on the back of it. It's just interesting looking car. Yeah. Did you see the Top Fuel funny car dragster do a full lap
at Festival of Speed?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Nitro. Did you see that?
No.
Nitro funny car did the full like point A to B lap. It was so slow, but the straights, it was like just giving her. It was like, oh my God, that's terrifying.
That's hilarious.
Because they have like bicycle like Schwinn brakes on the front of it, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you ever see the cockpit of one of those things, it's not a steering wheel. It's like one of those things
like
you put on a rowing
of pizzas.
No, it's legitimately like one of the. It is, I guess, but it's like one of those things you put on a rowing machine at like a close grip thing at a gym.
Yeah.
Like your hands are basically together. Like if you make two fists and then you put your knuckles together, that's basically what the steering wheel's like. So you just spin that. It's like a little cartoon.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the hell he managed to get it around a full lap. It was obviously slow, but just that sound, man.
Yeah.
That nitro sound is just.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything better. Even like V10, V12 F1 cars, I don't think anything can beat the sound of a nitro car at idle.
No.
Oh,
and
dear
there were
God.
some really good sounding cars because there was a Z4 GT3 that went up the hill with that
There was.
V8. And that's just such a
I love
good
that
sounding car.
Yeah, one of the all time greats in GT racing.
Yeah. There was a lot of really cool things. I'm just going.
It was
through
just a good
the page
variety,
now.
right? Like it was good to have like a I guess we'll say a normal year of the festival. So I think you got the full range of people coming out, and then people also being able to, companies basically, right? Being able to give their all and to actually have something to show off because there's stuff that gets delayed. There's stuff where it's like, well, why would we announce this right now? There's no point. So it was cool. There was a lot of stuff happening at the Festival of Speed this year.
Yeah, the DBX 707 made an appearance.
Yeah, it was.
Which is a very
it's
cool SUV.
It's getting there. It's not. I don't know if it's like in production yet.
It's I think it's
approaching.
I think it's in production. They just haven't done any client deliveries,
Which would make sense, yeah, because you'd probably be delivering around September.
I think so.
And it's probably a slow process because that is kind of a more special car, the 707. So,
the
cool.
AMG 1 was there.
Fun fact, AMG 1, did not know this. And it's actually a bad fact or stupid fact.
Oh, no.
Not available in North America. I didn't know that.
No, there is. I know there is going to be one that's going to be delivered in North America, and that's to Manny Cosbin.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Manny Cosbin is?
No.
You
Should
are
I?
a Muppet. Yes, you should. He's a real estate guy. Like he's very much into real estate, but he's got one of the most incredible vehicle collections. He's got McLaren P1s. He has numerous Mercedes McLaren SLRs. He has a 4GT. He has a GT3. He has a 911 Targa 4S Heritage. He has a Bugatti Chiron.
Okay, so it's not bad.
He's got McLaren Speedtail. He's got
Sorry.
Yeah, just casual. He has an absolutely beautiful McLaren SLR that's a one-of-one Heritage Edition, and it's so
with the
nice.
seats?
With the blue seats. Yes. Okay, you know which one I'm talking about now.
I do.
Yes,
I do.
He's got. Oh man, I love.
Okay,
that
so
thing so much.
I've heard of some of these cars. Okay,
Yeah.
So that's not bad. That's pretty good. So
but
at least he
he's-
gets one.
Yeah. So
Probably is a show car.
He's getting an AMG 1, and he's also getting a Bolide, a Bugatti Bolide.
Oof, those are nice. I'm not a big Bugatti guy, but that is nice.
It is nice.
Were you going to say something or what? No, Andrew, go ahead. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Am I the only one that was a little underwhelmed with how the AMG one sounded?
Sounded, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I
four-cylinder.
was. Well, okay.
Is it
I wasn't
four-cylinder or
stoked.
six-cylinder?
Four.
I think it's the
Four-cylinder?
six-cylinder turbo.
No,
It's
sorry.
supposed to be similar
the
to
Formula
the
1.
Yeah,
it's
no, it
supposed to be
is.
similar
It's
to the
six-cylinder.
Formula 1 car, right?
It's exactly the same engine.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. So yeah,
It's-
so
but
sorry,
it's,
it
like,
would be
way
it's
quieter
a
and-
1.4.
1 point. Yeah, that's
It's a
that's what the four is.
1.46 cell. That's where you're getting the 4 from.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no, I agree, man. Like I heard it, I was like, I thought it kind of sounded wild. Like it sounds good in Forza.
Like, obviously, it
Yeah,
can't
but
be...
everything is embellished
Yeah,
in
that's
Forza.
true.
Yeah. I mean, like, it can't be as loud as an F1 car, obviously, if it's like a road car, but it's just
Especially
like,
with Euro regulations.
it's
I
just
think
like-
I think you'll see people open up that exhaust.
yeah.
I think
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's
for
a
sure.
European only car, you got to remember, well, not so much emissions, I guess, but just noise level.
Yeah.
I think that thing will sound. Look at my car, man. I removed the secondary caps. And it's a monster. So I bet you. I don't know. I want to see more out of it. I want to see what they can do with the exhaust in aftermarket. But I agree. Aren wasn't a big fan of the looks of the car. And then,
No.
remember, this
It was
is
just
the
the
cover
front.
car.
It was
Hang on,
just
it
the
is
front
the
of it.
cover car of Horizon 5.
Yeah.
Which is important to note.
It is.
Because this car is finally starting to get out in the public and
Yeah.
to get delivered and everything. I think it looks great.
I like
really like the look of it, and I'm not even being like a biased Mercedes person. Like I genuinely love the taillights. I think they're some of the nicest taillights I've ever seen. The front of the car, I can definitely see how it's a bit of an argumentative thing. I like that style of front. I like the direction the headlights go. I like the grille. I like how it's kind of like flat. Like it's got this flat nose to it and everything. Aaron's grimacing as if he stepped in something.
Well, because
It's like
I know
EV looking.
we.
Yeah, it
I
is.
know we
It is
have
a little
another
bit,
segment
right?
that we're going to get into where we get to rip a car apart. But we're going to leave that for later. So, and I don't want to do that to the AMG
Mhm.
because I don't know. It's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. It's a beautiful
The
car.
front.
The front
the
of
wing.
it. Just the front
wing,
of it.
though.
just
The
the wing is
man.
insane.
Oh,
The
the
wing is
front, the
so-
front
front
things
vents.
on the front tires.
Oh, I love
and
it.
They pop up.
I love it. It makes me
yes.
shiver. But it's just the front. It's the headlights. That's the only thing. If it's honestly the rest of the front, I'm fine with. I don't like where the headlights are positioned. I don't like the horizontal.
I like
headlights.
that.
If you
That's funny.
rotated
Yeah.
them 90 degrees and just put them more vertical.
But everybody does that.
I know, but it looks so much better on a
Okay,
on a low slung
Here's
sports
what I
car.
would say. So if you got your hands on one, you would probably have to take that to Mansory and see what they could do with the front bumper kit for it.
because Mansory would ruin it.
Mansory would like put the headlights on back, whereas they put the taillights on the front, the headlights on the
and
back.
they put 22-inch wheels on it and wrap the interior in leather, and then
They
they
would,
put
yeah, they'd gut it,
they'd put some stupid steering wheel on it that looks like it's from a
18
G-Wagon.
billion lights on it as well.
I
yeah.
no. And then they
No,
put
Mansory
vents that
stinks.
do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but I like the look of that car. I can see why you wouldn't. I think everybody agrees the back of that thing is just
it's beautiful.
God, it's
and the
menacing.
size of that center exhaust is
Yes.
so nice.
Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah.
someone came up to me and said, "Hey, I want to hand you the keys to a Mercedes AMG 1. Here you go. It's yours." I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't be like, "Nope, I don't like the look of the front of it." I'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm going to."
Well, obviously, as a machine, yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of nice cars out there.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
And if I had the money to buy an AMG 1 and I had the accessibility to buy an AMG 1, I would probably have the accessibility to buy many other vehicles.
Yeah.
And the AMG 1 wouldn't be my initial decision.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
That's the thing. Well, we touch on that a lot of times with some of our segments, like cars, like that are in a certain price range. It's like, why would you buy that? Like, if these are the cars you could pick from, that's the one.
That's the one you would pick,
You know what I
really.
mean?
Yeah. But
It's-
I mean,
it's odd.
granted, we're not in that position.
No.
If we were, I think it'd be a little bit different conversation.
When it's your money,
but
it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
it's your money. Go for it. If
Actually-
you like it, sure.
Actually.
What?
This is going to be Andrew's first week picking
Picking
Fuck
the
That
car
Car.
for Fuck That
It
Car,
is,
yes.
Yeah.
And I just got a whiff of what it is.
Yes.
Oh, it's
And it stinks. And it stinks.
What is your pick for Fuck That Car, Andrew?
any year of Hyundai Veloster ever.
Any year ever.
They're fucking garbage. Fucking even the new ones with the sick like rip off VW DCTs.
Is that
even
the-
even the Veloster N?
See, my thing with the Veloster N is that if you're like, just get
That
the
was a sigh.
Elantra N instead. You know,
Oh, that's a good point.
That is a good point.
That is a good point. The Elantra N is not bad.
No, it's got the same engine. It's got the same
Same
transmission.
Way more
and
comfortable.
You have it's
Way more comfortable.
way more space,
Mm.
and it's more practical. It's a
looks
it's a sedan.
way better.
It does look way better.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Dude, the styling
And you
on the
have a
Elantra,
usable
actually,
backseat.
I know we're ripping on the Veloster, but the styling on the Elantra, this generation, unreal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
For a Hyundai, it's fucking unreal.
The old ones always look like the loaner
Horrible.
car that your insurance company would give you.
Yeah, they look like
moving back
the
to
equivalent
Veloster,
of
though.
all the Velosters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, dude, I just
Give me,
there's
give me more
nothing-
Veloster heat here.
Yes.
I want more
I
Veloster
want
heat.
Yeah.
yes, rip it apart.
So for the first gen one, all the
Let's go by generation. Gen to
Yeah.
gen.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're going. Yeah. First generation. All the people that
Okay.
drive them. It's basically the equivalent of back in the day. It was like the Civics with fart cans. Now it's like Velosters with like loud
Yep.
blow off valves, and they're going nowhere because they make 128 horsepower at the crank. And it's just like the
You're not
manuals.
wrong.
You're not going anywhere. It's like they're so ugly. Everyone that has
Oh,
them,
the
it's
back
like,
of it looks so bad.
they're so bad.
It looked like
The
a shoe print.
Yeah, like even the turbo ones, dude. Like I don't even think we got turbo ones in like for the first gen in. Oh no, we did. I think, but still,
We did.
whatever. They're
Yeah,
fine.
and then
This-
there was that second edition, like when they did the facelift in the matte blue, like they had that
Yeah.
turbo in the matte blue, and they're like, "We're gonna put big wheels on this."
yeah, and like the newer like
It's
even, like,
scoliosis from the
they
ride.
tried to do
Yes.
they tried to rip off the like Volkswagen with their DCTs, and like their first attempt was like garbage. They were horrible. The new ones are better, but like I said, just buy it in the Elantra instead.
Yeah,
because
that's
it just
that's
is.
dude. That's the big thing with a lot of these car segments is like you're right there. price range wise,
Yeah.
and you know, logistics wise. Like, just buy the car that's clearly
The better
better, right? Like, if that's what you want, like this is exactly what you want. This is
Like,
a better
it's-
version.
Yeah, it's like what it's. Oh, it's a hatchback. It's practical. It's like I think you get like pretty much more trunk space with
You do.
the Elantra because it's
You
got a
do.
huge trunk and it has 4 doors. So
Mhm.
it's like I don't think there's they have that like Aaron, you were saying earlier, that shitty little like side RX-8 door.
Yeah, the second side door on the passenger side that you have
Yeah,
to open
horrible.
up, and
Horrible.
then, you know, imagine being the driver of that car, and you have 4 people getting in this vehicle, and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Good luck.
You all need to go to the passenger side because there's only one door on this side, and that's for me because I'm the driver and I have a silver spoon shoved up my ass because I drive a Veloster.
Yeah,
The biggest shame of all this is one of our buddies is going to be listening to this, and he has a Veloster, and
It's red and it's an automatic because he's a
sorry.
pussy and he can't drive manual.
Sorry, buddy.
oh.
Sorry, buddy. We'll continue the roast. We'll continue the roast sesh here. But
Anyways, yeah, the
Sorry,
automatics
sorry.
are fucking garbage.
we love you though. Your car
Jesus,
stinks.
man.
But
it's true.
but it's like we were saying though, like literally the good things about it already like they come in the Elantra end. So it's like I don't know. You could be like, oh, it's good. It makes good power, like the end or whatever. It makes like 270 horse, I think, at the crank.
Yeah.
With the 8-speed like dual clutch is pretty. The new dual clutches are sick. Like to
they're
be fair,
quick.
like
They're very
they're
quick
sweet,
shifting.
man. They're like for like Hyundai has stepped up their game big time, but get rid of the Veloster because just stick with the Elantra, dude. Like I get that's like the hot hatch like deal, but I mean make it if you want to do a hot hatch, make it a 4-door and make it look better.
That is a very good one for fuck this car.
Yes.
Fuck that car.
Very
Yeah, fuck that
well.
car.
Good choice.
Good choice. Very good choice. I'm excited. Next week is my pick. My pick.
I think so. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I've got a good one. I'm not going to spoil it. This week, Jets.
That's everything
Like,
this week.
I mean, we've got a big week or weekend ahead of us. We've got a lot of
Weekend,
things here. I would like to do a short show every day.
I'm down for that.
And when you're hearing this, you're either going to come across something on our IG Live. We might have some stuff on YouTube by that point. But I'd like to do just a quick show every day to kind of recap things. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, fellas. It will be many antics and many beers. Andrew thankfully got some of that Quebec beer.
Dude,
Ooh, nice.
So much cheaper.
$20 less
For a case.
per case.
For
Per
a case?
man, than in Ontario. It's like I was looking it up in Ontario because I never buy beer in Ontario anymore. It was
Smart
like
man.
$54.95 before tax or something, or on for a 30 case of Bud Light. And in Quebec, after tax, it was like $34
Oh my god.
or $34.50
with
or something.
with our Monopoly money too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's part.
yeah, exactly.
Granted,
yeah.
that's what it's like in Alberta, though.
It's like $1.05 a beer, basically. Like, which for like all the Americans that are listening, it's like that's
17
like
cents.
that's pretty average. Like they don't pay shit for beer, but we pay
Yeah.
No.
in
But
Ontario
granted,
a lot.
you go down to the States and you get beer. It's not beer. It's Canadian tap water.
Yeah,
Actually, I will say their blue light is way better. Or blue is like completely
Labatt?
different. It's really good in the States.
Oh,
it's
okay.
exceptional.
I don't drink Labatt up here, so
No, because it's terrible up here. Exactly. No, it's funny. But the nice part though for you is you go to Quebec and you pick up a couple cases.
yeah.
Big fucking
Dude,
deal. You come home. We go to the States. I mean, you got to do a body search if you bring more than 24 beers back, or if you bring a bottle of liquor, right?
Oh yeah,
Technically, you're not even supposed to bring it back. They just let it slide.
yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's kind of the same deal. Like here, it's just like a small crossing, and it's just like whatever. So people just like, why would you stop that? Like, you'd have to be a wiener to fucking sit there and be like, well, how many cases did you bring across the provincial border?
Provincial border.
You know what I
And
mean?
that's one of the things that boggles. I've never been across the border between Ontario and Quebec.
I've never been across a land border in Canada, period.
You really a land
Not
border?
in
Okay.
the land border, or sorry, not provincial land border.
provincial land border,
International. but-
So because I've driven from Alberta to Ontario, from Ontario to BC, like I've done that trip numerous times, and the border between Ontario and Manitoba is a sign.
Nice.
The border between Manitoba and Saskatchewan is a smaller sign, and the border between Saskatchewan and Alberta is 2 red poles.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Like
So
it's
fancy
like
sign.
basically just like welcome to like Frogland, like kind of deal. Like it's like a bridge, and
Baguettes and
whatever.
cigarettes. Welcome.
Yeah. Everyone's terrible drivers here. Like good luck, basically is like the sign. But
If you drive a 918, you're going to hit a pothole.
Yeah, I did see that, by the way, in Montreal. I did see a 918 hit a pothole.
Was it 3?
It's so sad. I saw 3 in a row, and they all hit the same pothole, and one of them hit it really hard.
That's
Oh my
like I don't
God.
know. I'm gonna be going to Quebec City like later, but my pretty much my only experience of Quebec is I've been to Montreal a couple times and I love Montreal, but everywhere like
awesome.
driving in Montreal fucking stinks. But
Yeah.
and like the drivers there are horrible. The food is amazing. Like the actual city amazing, but it's I wouldn't say unless you're going to the big cities, it's like the same as like going anywhere in Ontario. Like you're not really missing much.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be a good weekend, gents. We'll have a real good time.
Oh,
but, we'll pack it in for tonight. We got to get some packing done. I got to get lots of aloe because we're gonna burn. Yeah, Andrew, make sure you bring some Canada Day stuff too, because we're gonna be down there for Canada Day and America Day.
America Day.
America
yes.
Day.
America Day.
I have a Canada Day tie that I'm going to wear.
Ooh,
Yes, I'm
Okay.
very excited.
that'll be good. Yeah, we've
I
got.
got a cape. I got fake tattoo sleeves.
Did
You
you
have a
actually?
cape?
No
Yeah.
ways.
Oh
our,
my
our,
God.
our other buddy Zach got the same thing. You got the tattoo sleeves. That's
I'm gonna
perfect.
have to
go,
go to I'm gonna have to go to Dollar M and pick up. A couple
Yeah,
things.
yeah. I might grab a couple more things tomorrow. I got the famous umbrella hat straight out
Yep.
of Montreal.
Yep.
Nice.
And
You look like a moron walking around with the IG Live.
dude, I'm just saying I didn't get a sunburn.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't useful. I'm just saying when you were doing the IG Live, you looked like a moron.
Oh, I was way under my goddamn mind. I
Oh,
don't care.
okay. Then you're good. Great.
No, it is actually very useful. If you are going to the race this weekend, by the way, please let us know because we've got stuff to give away.
Yep.
We want to, share that with you for sure.
Yep.
We definitely want to have some beers with you guys if you're
Yep.
going down. I know there's like lots of people were messaging us saying that we're going.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to see a couple of you cool cats down there and see us and everything like that. And we'll get a high energy, sort of high tempo. Maybe we'll ask you some fuck that car questions. You can do your own fuck that car.
I was just gonna
That would be
say,
good.
yeah,
You know what
some
I mean?
guest fuck that car segment.
I would love some guest fuck that cars. That would be excellent. So it's it's going to be a great time. We're going to have the Canada Day stuff. It's very hard finding America Day stuff up here. If I find something, I'll put some stars and stripes on. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I was gonna say it's not like we live on a town that's right across a border.
We do,
We
we
can-
do, but I'm not going over the border. It costs too much to do that. I'm not rich.
That's fair.
All right. Anyways, boys, I gotta get to bed. I'm gonna have probably one more beer here before bed, just a little nightcap. But we'll talk in the morning, and
We'll see you this weekend.
yeah, we'll see you guys this weekend. But yeah, thanks for listening. This has been episode 5.
Episode
Episode 5 of the Forza World Podcast. Talk to you this weekend, guys.